Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanishalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. In this session, we'll be discussing from the 23rd and the 24th verses of the 11th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. 23rd verse: Swayam cha gurubhir viprai sadarai sthavirair api ashirbhir yujjamanonyair vandibhish chavishat puram. The meaning of this 23rd verse: Then the Lord personally entered the city accompanied by elderly relatives and invalid brahmanas with their wives, all offering benedictions and singing the glories of the Lord. Others also praised the glories of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada comments on this particular verse in the purport as follows: The Brahmanas in society were never attentive to banking money for future retired life. This is the Vedic culture. The Brahmanas always offer free service, and even if they get excess of some charity, they spend it off in devotional service. They don't keep money for future. When they were old invalids, they used to approach the assembly of the kings, and simply by praising the glorious deeds performed by the kings along with their wives, they would be provided with all necessities of life. What a wonderful society. When they require, they just go and ask the king, and the king will provide. Such Brahmanas were not, so to speak, flatterers of the kings, but the kings were actually glorified by their actions. See, they are not doing this just to get some benefit. They are factually glorifying the king for his factual glorious qualities. And here they are glorifying the supreme King of all kings, the Supreme Lord, Krishna, who is full of all wonderful qualities. So the kings, Srila Prabhupada says, were sincerely still more encouraged in pious acts by such Brahmanas in a dignified way. And the Brahmanas would glorify the kings for their good qualities. The kings would also feel enthused, inspired to do more of such pious activities. In a dignified way, the Brahmanas would glorify the king. Lord Sri Krishna is worthy of all glories, and the praying Brahmanas and others would glorify themselves by chanting the glories of the Lord. In the case of glorification of Krishna, it's not Krishna who is actually in need of the glorification. It is the glorifiers, the Brahmanas, who become themselves glorified by glorifying Krishna. The 24th verse: Rajamargam gate Krishne dvarakaya kulastriyaha harmyani aruruhur vipra tad ikshana mahotsavaha. The meaning of this 24th verse: When Lord Krishna passed over the public roads all the ladies from the respectable families of Dwaraka, Kulastriyaha, went up to the roofs of their palaces just to have a look at the Lord. They considered this to be the greatest festival. So Srila Prabhupada elaborately explains this in the purport. To have a look at the Lord is a great festive occasion, undoubtedly, as it was considered by the metropolitan ladies of Dwaraka. This is still followed by the devout ladies of India, especially during the days of the Julan and Janmashtami ceremonies. The ladies of India still throng up in the greatest number at the temple of the Lord, where His transcendental eternal form is worshipped. The transcendental form of the Lord installed in a temple is not different from the Lord personally. Such a form of the Lord is called Archa Vigraha or Archa Incarnation, and is expanded by the Lord by His internal potency just to facilitate the devotional service of His innumerable devotees who are in the material world. The material senses cannot perceive the spiritual nature of the Lord, and therefore the Lord accepts the Archa Vigraha, which is apparently made of material elements like earth, wood and stone, but actually there is no material contamination. So Srila Prabhupada is comparing that when Krishna incarnated, He was received by the ladies of Dwaraka by them going on top of the roofs and just having the darshan of the Lord was like a festival for their eyes, because the Lord is very, 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 very beautiful. And the same facility is available even now in the form of the Lord being worshipped in the temple, where He is beautifully decorated, ornamented and cared for by His devotees. So this Archa Incarnation, worshipable deity form, is non-different from the Lord personally. It is not an imaginary form, it is not a dead statue. It is actually expanded by the Lord's spiritual potency, and it facilitates the devotional service of the devotees. Further, Srila Prabhupada explains, the material senses cannot perceive the spiritual nature of the Lord. Therefore, the Lord accepts the Archa Vigraha, which is apparently made of material elements like earth, wood and stone. See, the material, the Archa Incarnation is made of material elements. But that doesn't mean it is a material statue. No. Why? Because the Lord is Kaivalya, one alone. There is no matter in Him. He is one without a second, and therefore the Almighty Lord can appear in any form without being contaminated by the material conception. So when the Lord appears in the Archa form, He is appearing in His transcendental forms, completely spiritual form. Even though He appears in a material statue, actually He is not contaminated by matter. He is completely spiritual, and His appearance is also completely transcendental. This is difficult to understand for ordinary people, but this is being explained by the Acharya. This is explained in the scriptures. And it is a fact that those devotees who have darshan of that Archa incarnation of the Lord are deriving spiritual benefit simply by having darshan. Their heart becomes cleansed. There's a transformation of their heart. There's a transformation of their consciousness. There is a spiritual transformation of their consciousness. So that is proof that they are not having darshan of a material form. This has to be very carefully understood. If the form were material, there would have been no spiritual transformation by seeing a material form. Whereas the proof that devotees have darshan of the Archa incarnation resulting in spiritual transformation of the heart means that the form they are seeing is completely spiritual, and therefore the transformation is taking place. So Srila Prabhupada further explains, festivities in the temple of the Lord are as held generally are like festivals performed during the manifestive days of the Lord of Dwaraka about 5,000 years ago. So when the Lord would enter Dwaraka, it was a festival for all the inhabitants of Dwaraka. The Lord has appeared. Lord has come back, returned to the city. Same way, the Lord's appearance is celebrated as Janmashtami festival, or Julan festival on certain occasions, like the spring festival, the autumn festival. All these are actually the same type of festive atmosphere which was actually present 5,000 years back when the Lord incarnated in Dwaraka. The authorized acharyas who know the science perfectly install such temples of the Lord under regulative principles just to offer facilities to the common man. The acharyas are installing the deities. Ordinary people cannot install deities on their own. It's only the acharyas who invite the Lord to come and reside in the Archa Vigraha and accept the worship of the devotees. Because the Lord is intimately connected, related with the Acharya, so Acharya can invite, and the Lord does accept the invitation of the Acharya to facilitate common people. For the common people's spiritual benefit, the Lord accepts the invitation of the Acharya and comes and resides in the Archa form, the Archa incarnation. There are persons who are less intelligent who, without being conversant with the science of devotional service, mistake this great attempt to be idol worship. There are materialistic people, impersonalists, and all kinds of demons who call this worship of the deity as idol worship. So Prabhupada makes a clear distinction between deity and idol. Deity is the factual presence of the Lord in his transcendental form. Idol is an imaginary form, a material form which is imagined to be something like God. So idol is different, deity is different. So these materialistic people, the demons, the impersonalists, they think that devotees are worshipping an idol. They poke their nose into that to which they have no access. The impersonalists, the materialists, the demons have no access to the transcendental reality of the Supreme Lord, because they deny, they criticize. So therefore there is no access. So only devotees can understand this, devotees can access, devotees can worship, devotees can benefit spiritually by such worship, by such darshan, and the benefit, the result is seen in the heart transformation. In second canto, second chapter, there is a description that devotional service, transformation of the heart, change of heart. So that is the proof of that form of the Lord being completely transcendent. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare